Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FB4 Daily. You're probably wondering why this is on at 10 p.m. at night. Couple of reasons. The main one being, I've got feedback on different things, and I've been told that this suits people a hell of a lot better. So we're going to go with 10 p.m. from now on, and we're going to go with 8:30 for the FB4 show that's on a Sunday night. What are we going to touch on tonight? Well, the pre-season has started, so let's get stuck into that. Liverpool tonight won 6 goals to nil away to Tranmere. A really good win. Loads and loads of players got a chance to show what they're all about. It was the tempo was good. I felt the tempo was good from the start. We really controlled the first half. Tranmere really dropped back into a very, very defensive look. But look, we done what we had to do, and I just want to see what you think. What players stood out for you? You know, I'm going to get on to Brewster in a minute. But what other players stood out for you? For me, Milner looked great. Up and down the pitch, side to side, using the ball well, covering well, throwing himself into tackles. First pre-season game of the season, and he's gone in like an absolute madman. Chris says, great start to the season. Brewster impressive. Origi goal was unreal. Yeah, we'll get into all that, Chris. There's a couple of players I really want to touch on. But you know, I was surprised at the tempo. I thought we'd come out and I thought we'd be not pedestrian, but I thought we'd just ease our way in and probably pick it up in the last 15 minutes of the first half, and likewise in the second half might be a little bit pedestrian, and then our quality would show. But to be honest with you, from minute one, you know, we are right on it. You know, our crisp passing, there was good movement, we were sharp into the tackle, we weren't letting them out, we were pressing them high. You know, literally Tranmere were getting the ball 25 yards from their own goal, and we're looking around and just could not, for the love of God, see a way out, or an out ball or anything like it. They had a guy up front that was quite pacey, but he was so well marshalled in the first half and second half as well. Kev O'Sullivan said he only saw the goals. How did the likes of Oxen and Lallana go? They both played first half. Let's get into a couple of players, I suppose. They both played first half, and Oxlade-Chamberlain was quiet enough. He was quiet enough. He was tidy. He was quiet enough, but you know, no major impact on the half. But you could see him just getting into a stride, I suppose. Lallana done well. Played a little bit deeper than I thought, but tried to get forward at times. You know, he was down 2 or 3 times though, and was slow to get up, which was a little bit of a worry. But look, there was nobody that should say, Jesus, no, he doesn't look right at all. Don't get me wrong, there wasn't anyone like that. You know, it just wasn't like that. You know, lads some of them were you know, they were managing themselves. Lallana played number 6 as Chris, which was surprising. Yeah, he was quite deep, wasn't he? There was one stage I nearly looked and went, who's that number 20? And then I realised, no, that's Lallana's number 20. He was quite deep. He was. But there was another couple of players that stood out as well. Before we go on, this is on Periscope. It's on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, tell your Liverpool supporting friends about it. Subscribe to the channel. As I said before, and I'll say it again, the more we get subscriptions and more people we get on, the more laugh we can have, and the more opinions you get. That's all I want, is as many different opinions as we can get on. You know, if I can get 20 different opinions on one subject, yeah, brilliant, keep it going. If you're on Periscope, you're watching it now, just hit the share button, share it onto your timeline, tag us in it if you like, and you know, we'll build this thing together, and we'll have a nice little group of people going that watch it all the time. You know, there's loads of regulars on this at the minute now, so, and the more we get on, the better. Paul Tabley has called me Daz again. I don't know, and now he said sorry for it. He's definitely on 2 strikes now at this stage. Just before we go on, our sponsor for tonight, I forgot it today. You have to forgive me, but today is brought to you by Dan Designs UK. If you go on to Twitter at Hendo Designs, you'll see this lad. He's really good. He's up and coming. He does a lot of art. He does posters. He does stickers. He does loads of different things like that. Get on to him. Hendo Designs, top bloke. You'll see his shop in there. Get on to him. order some gear off him. He's loads of different things. I know I think he's doing a bit of a sale at the minute as well. So if you want to get on there and see what's on, yeah, go for it. And he's a top lad, Dan. He really is. So he's our sponsor for today. And once again, we thank him for that. Just to mention of another sponsor as well, Love Follow Conquer. They asked me to give them a mention this evening, and I will, because they've launched a new range today in collaboration with Liverpool Football Club. If you go on to lovefollowconquer.com, you will see all them there. We put out a post earlier about it on Twitter. We also done one on Instagram. The Instagram one gives you about 9 pictures of the different things they're doing. Top stuff really is. So get on there and have a look as well. Right, on to it. Listen, anybody that's watched the game, throw names in there and give me your opinion, and we'll go through them as we go on. We try to do a bit on the first half, we try to do a bit in the second half, we'll do a bit of transfers at the end as well, because there's one that keeps popping up and it's starting to annoy me a little bit. Larouci looked very good. This is the young left back. Now, believe it or not, Grizz said to me before this game, and I thought he was messing. He said, "Watch this lad. He's really, really good." Grizz is very interested in his progression and see how he goes. Very impressive left back. Very impressive what he done. He missed a good chance. It was about 15 minutes in. He missed a good chance, but really tidy on the ball. Very good defensively. I think he was a bit underused in the first half. Ryan Kent played down that side, and Ryan Kent to me looked like a player that, although he was trying too hard. He was trying too hard to do different things. It was always coming inside and trying to do something where the easy ball was the overlap, and this lad was on the overlap. And if you watch our first team, our fullbacks love to overlap and get that ball played into them, where they can put one across the front of the box. And you know, this is how we score a hell of a lot of goals. But the young lad, he's Colombian. Colombian, says Maverick. Yeah, I thought he was really, really good. I really liked him. He's, as I said, strong, athletic, good use of the ball, good touch, good positioning, got forward well. His delivery at times was okay, but I think there was opportunities there for him to be put in, and when he was put in, there was a good chance for him, you know, to put something across the goal, and Kent just didn't feed him enough, to be quite honest with you. Hoover, yeah, I'm going to go on to Hoover. Second half, I'm going to go on to Hoover. Gomez looked strong and hungry, says Maverick. Yeah, he did. He looked very controlled. The camera angle for me wasn't great in the game, but it did show the size of Joe Gomez. He's an absolute unit. But he was really, really good, really composed, done everything he needed to do. You know, any sort of threat that came, which wasn't very often, was dealt with. He's involved in the first goal. He comes out with it. It's the goal that Klein gets. Great to see Klein back. Looked okay. He still lacks a little bit of ideas when it comes up front. But then when I say that, he's after smashing a goal in. He scores the first goal. But no, Klein looked good. They all looked fit. Gomez, yeah, he's an absolute unit. And when you're looking at it from that angle, how big he is, how strong he is, quick, composed, you know, everything about him. Listen, all I want is Joe Gomez through the season uninjured, and if he does, we're in for a smashing season with him. Wilson got his assist, but I'm not sure he did enough. Wilson was in and out of the game. Now, in fairness, a lot of our stuff came down our left hand side with this young lad Larouci and Kent. But no, Wilson looked okay. He was trying to get involved. He was tidy enough. He had one free kick that I was waiting for him to smash in. He hit the wall with it. But I thought he was good. I thought Wilson was quite good. He was okay. As we've mentioned the left back, we've mentioned Gomez, Lallana was there, Milner was just Milner. Oxlade-Chamberlain, a little bit quiet. But the man of the first half was Brewster. Now, I'm sure you're going to lash me with comments about Brewster, but what can I say about him? We were talking about him in the WhatsApp group while the game was on. And the one thing about him is he's taller than I thought. He looks a lot taller than when you see him at 23s. He just looked a lot taller. I don't know if it's this white bit on the bottom of their socks that make them look all a bit taller. Did anybody else think that? I don't like the white bit on the bottom of the socks, by the way, but something that made them look a bit taller now. But he's not physically imposing. I don't think he ever will be, Brewster, unless he fills out an awful lot. But the one thing that done him, he was up against two big, strong centre halves tonight. And the thing about him was, the ball stuck when I came into him. And the second thing was, when they tried to get physical with him, he had that little quick touch away from them, or a quick, pass, or a little move, just a little movement to get him away. Really, really impressed with him tonight. I'm delighted for him, because he's gone through a bad injury period at such a young age. He comes back. He's part of this Champions League winning squad. He gets his medal. He winds people up with the medal. I love all that. But he today he scores 2 goals, or 2 different goals. But the second one impressed me, really, really, really impressed me, because that's a real striker, lads. That's, as soon as the shot is about to be taken, he's waiting, he's onside, and he knows where he wants to be, and he's in there, and the finish is really good. Hits it, doesn't hit it great, but hits it down on the ground, and it's on target. But it's, for me, that's massive for Brewster. Brewster could have come in there today, missed a couple of chances, kind of looked a bit isolated, but he didn't. He got involved. He tried to help out other players. He tried to link with players. He tried to put other players in. But when it came to it, he put the ball in the net. And that's the biggest thing from somebody said there, he looks tailor-made for Premier League football. That's to be seen. But listen, that's not a bad start. Hopefully he gets another 45 now against Bradford on Sunday. And listen, if he keeps going the way he's going, he'll be in better sides over this pre-season, and then you'll really see what he's made of. The socks are obviously practical tape and so on. Yeah, Barry, there's tape, but I think I just want to see if there's a bit of white in them socks, and if there is, I'm not happy. Matt says, do the youngsters coming through partly explain the lack of transfer activity? I don't know. I think, Brewster, although a brilliant first half there today, he will still have to prove himself. Wilson will still have to prove himself. But I don't think Liverpool are going to dictate their transfer policy on whether these lads do good enough in the summer. I don't think that's the way it is. I think the way it will work is, you will find lads, if we have transfers lined up, they're lined up a long time. It won't matter whether Brewster scores 2 at Tranmere, or Wilson has a great game at Bradford. That's not going to make a blind bit of difference. It will for the players themselves, but it's not going to make a difference for what we're looking for as a club going forward into this season and seasons beyond. But listen, to have all these young players playing this well, I know it's only 45 minutes each, but if they continue progressing like that, they could become an option. And not even if they don't and they go out on loan, they're going in with massive confidence, and they know they're good enough, and they can go off and prove themselves to come back. We'll have to see. That was the first half. It was a good first half. I thought that the tempo for me was the main thing, how hungry we looked and stuff like that. Second half comes about. Klopp makes 11 changes for the second half. No problem with that. He makes his 11 changes. You see an awful lot of lads coming in. Now this was another one where I thought it was really exciting to watch, because you had the likes of Glatzel, you had Bobby Duncan, Origi comes back and as captain. You had Hoover. You had different players. You had Curtis Jones. You had Ben Woodburn. You had all these players coming in. But going in through the second half, Origi scores. Fabulous ball by Matip. Brilliant first touch. Gets around the keeper and puts it in the net. Great for Origi, because I remember going back a year ago, Origi, I think, played in this game against Tranmere, and he might have played in one a couple of days later, and he was poor. He looked absolutely poor. But one of the lads said, he looks like he's lost a bit of weight. He looks a bit leaner. Yeah, I agree with that. He does look a bit leaner. Brilliant finish from him. Duncan gets a goal. Good finish. It looked like brilliant run by Hoover. It looks like Glatzel's on it. There's a little bit of hesitation, and Duncan decides, no, I'll sort this out, and he buries it. And that's 6-0. Overall, Curtis Jones gets one. It's Curtis Jones is a peculiar one for me. A bit like, he plays in that position a bit like Kent, and I think they need to understand what they need to do for their fullback, attacking wise, more if they're going to progress. They've all the ability in the world, but they need to know the system, and they need to know that you don't have to beat people all the time. If you get that bit of space and you release a fullback, you've done your job. You know, you really have done your job. Someone mentioned Hoover earlier on. I thought he was excellent. From start to finish, I thought he was excellent. Defensively, he looks strong. 17 years of age. It's scary. Strong, athletic, gets forward, really calm on the ball. Whether that's defensively in the middle of the park, you know, or middle area of the park, or whether it's up, you know, at the business end of the park. Really, really good. Hoover is such a prospect. You know, he just looked to me like coolness personified from the time he started till the final whistle. Absolutely spot on. I like Glatzel. I liked his work. He's not the biggest lad in the world, but he works so hard early on in that second half. He's tangled up in tackles with men that are much bigger than him, and he managed to wriggle out a couple of times. I really liked what he done. Duncan gets the goal, no harm. I really like Lewis, a left back. He made the pitch really big, like Robertson likes to. He got a couple of decent balls into the box. Woodburn wasn't bad. There wasn't a bad player. There wasn't a player where you thought that game passed him by. You know, Fabinho just ticked things over in second half. There wasn't a bad player out there. You know, I think if anybody comes out with this and says, he wasn't great or he wasn't great, you have to take things into context. You can't go too overboard with the likes of what Brewster's done, and you can't be too upset by, I don't know, pick a player and decide that he wasn't good enough. First 45 minutes, proper 45 minutes of the new season, I thought it went really well. No injuries, people looked fit, a lot of them looked sharp. So I was quite happy with that. We move on to Bradford now on Sunday, and it's another game. It's probably another 2-11s. Maybe you'll see a couple of lads that were back in training that weren't there tonight added in. I know Seth van der Berg wasn't. Something to do with registration. I don't know if that affects him for Sunday. A lot of people want to see him play. Maybe he will get a chance. We don't know. But look, that was the Tranmere game. 6-0 win. Really good. Plenty of positives there. Plenty of positives. And we move on to the next one and we see how we go. Now, what else has been going on today? Right, there's one link that keeps coming back and keeps coming back and keeps coming back, and it's Philippe Coutinho. Apparently now Liverpool are interested, but not anywhere near the price that we paid. You know, he prefers a move back to England apparently, and Liverpool would probably be his move. I don't think City would be his move. I don't think United would be his move. But the thing is, it goes back to how hard Klopp got. How hard did Klopp get when he was you know, a little bit screwed over by Philippe Coutinho. Let's be honest. I don't think it happens. Do you think it happens? Put it in the comments. Let's have a chat about it. But I really don't think it happens. I think it's, you know, last week there was talk of no. His agent has said no, this isn't happening. He's not leaving the new camp this summer. He's staying and fighting for his place. He's been assured of things by managers and stuff like that. But as Kev points out there, Barcelona have to pay for Griezmann up front, 107 million. Barca need money. Kev, you could be absolutely spot on there. We spoke about how murky that Griezmann thing got the other day, but like if you look at Messi, Suarez, Dembele, Coutinho, and possibly Neymar, Griezmann. If Neymar happens as well, someone's the odd man out, possibly two are the odd men out. But this is being linked again with regards to Coutinho. I'd love to know what people think now, because again, if this is being leaked out a little bit that he prefers a move back to England over a move to France, there's probably, and we probably are owed money from Barcelona, there's probably a deal that could be done there. This will all, if anything was to happen, I don't think it will, but if by any chance something was to happen, I think this will all come down to, one, how Klopp feels about it, and two, can Klopp sell it to a squad? Because people make a fair point. I've always said I'd take him back tomorrow, but people do make a fair point that, you know, people say to me, Gav, look, it sends out the wrong message to the squad. It sends out the wrong message to the squad if you go and do it and don't consult captain and your vice captain, and put the feeders out there and let the squad kind of have a chat amongst themselves and come back and give their input, because at the end of the day, Klopp is part of a team that includes all these players. You know, Barry Carr says throw them 80 million up front. Coutinho even takes the same wages, I reckon. Yeah, listen, he could come back on the same money. 80 million would probably do it, because what we're owed. And Kevin Sullivan says apparently the original deal was staggered. Atletico decided against it now. Yeah, you'll have to wait for Griezmann to happen, I think, before anything else. Paul Tabley, who continues to call me Daz, if Klopp is happy with, that's the key for me. I'm happy. I'll take Dembele while we're at it. You're not getting the two of them, Paul. Don't be greedy. But Chris says originally I said no to Coutinho, but then again Rush left him to back, so it's possible. Yeah, Rush did leave and Rush came back. And Jesus, what a player Rush was. If you want to go into Ian Rush, but I still think it comes down to the money. Will have to be right. Klopp will have to want it, and Klopp will probably have to consult certain members in that squad for feedback with regards to Philip Coutinho coming back. I'm sure Alisson would like it. I'm sure Firmino would like it. Salah may like it. Mane mightn't. You know, there's players there. Milner could turn around and go no fucking way. You know, anything can happen. What do Barca still owe us for Coutinho? I genuinely don't know, but usually what happens is 142 million. We probably got about, say for argument's sake, 60 or 70 of that up front. 60 probably. So there's 82 left over a 6-year deal. It could be, you know, whatever that works out at 14 million a year for 6 years or something like that. So you never know what they owe us. They could still owe us 50 million on it. You really don't know. Could you write it off and we give them 50 on top of that? You really don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. But look, let me know what you think. Coutinho, yay, nay, we'll have to wait. Barry Carr said he was so good before he left. He was flying before he left. Surprisingly, considering a fella that wanted to leave the club. He had a brilliant 3 or 4 months at the club before he went. He was probably had his best return for Liverpool, or was close to it, and he would have smashed through it if he'd stayed for the season. But again, the other thing is, does he fit what we do? I'm not too sure if he does. We'll have to wait and see. But we have been linked with similar type players in the last couple of weeks. You know, the Pepe thing still rumbles on. There's no real word on Bruno Fernandes. You know, Asensio came and went over the last couple of days. You know, Kevin Sullivan says that he's still surprised Werner, Depay, Feck here. You know, no moves there. You know, that kind of way. So yeah, there's still a lot of a weird window, as Kev says. Yeah, it could be a weird window, but I maintain that if one big one happens, I think a couple more follow, definitely. But look, that's been 24 minutes of me waffling on. It's been the first day of pre-season. The Reds are back. They're back with a win. They're back on Sunday. Then they're off to America, and we'll have a good look at them while they're in America. As I said, we do these shows every evening at 10 o'clock. Your Fatback 4 show is back on Sunday night at 8:30. Get everybody on here. Get all your comments in, and we'll have a right good hour at that. I know the lads are ready to go, and if you want to do a show during the games when they're on in America, yeah, I'll sit here and have a drink and talk away to you while we're doing it. That's absolutely no problem at all. But look, that's been the Fatback 4 Daily for today, which is Thursday the 11th of July. It's been really good talking to you. It's good to have games back to talk about. We want to try and get some guests on this show that come on and give an alternative opinion to me and to you and to anyone else that's commenting. We're going to sort it out over the next couple of days to have guests on regularly as we go along. But look, that's been us. That's been the Fatback 4 Daily. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Over and out.